Hi there, fellow entrepreneur. Before we get into the details of the idea validation framework, we also need to talk about why mistakes happen so that we can be honest and transparent with ourselves, our team, and our investors. If we're not, we just push the inevitable failure forward and waste valuable time and resources. So why do we fail? Well, obviously there are many reasons why a new idea fails when it hits the market, because there are so many moving parts from start to finish. And from personal experience, from being an entrepreneur who has come up with many ideas and spent countless hours writing concepts, coding, implementing, strategizing, marketing, selling, and failing, I can look back at many failures and formulate some typical explanations. We didn't have the right marketing strategy, so it was the marketing's fault that we failed. Or we didn't have the right sales activity, so sales failed. Or the engineer failed to implement the crucial additional features. Or we didn't have enough funding, so we failed because we ran out of money. There are lots of explanations, or excuses as I call them, that can be made when looking back at the failure. But when we drill into the failure, then information that paints a different picture usually appears. The true cause of the failure becomes apparent, and when you get enough distance, that is when the ego of people like me who create the idea starts to fade, the truth stares us in the eyes. The customers didn't want what we made. It was the wrong idea. And this is an important acknowledgement. We have a tendency to create stuff that we believe is a good idea, but it proves to be the wrong idea when it hits the market. And yes, if you create something that customers actually want, there are several stages in the implementation of your idea that can obviously lead to failure as well. So if the idea is created with below expected quality, the failure monster will quickly come and eat your lunch. And the same applies if the right idea is unknown to the customer. The failure monster will jump at any opportunity when marketing or sale execution is poor. But the obvious truth is that good execution, when you know you have the right idea, is very important to succeed. But good execution will never turn the wrong idea into the right idea. So everything starts with and depends on the idea being the right idea. And here's a practical example. So imagine your idea is to launch a Mexican restaurant. For a physical restaurant, the location is given, and to a large extent also the audience who will geographically be close enough to eat at the restaurant. Now, if a Mexican restaurant is the right idea, that is to say customers love and want to eat Mexican food at your place, then you can still fail in execution if you don't have a chef that can cook Mexican food, or if you fail to get the right raw materials at the right quality, or you fail to let customers know your Mexican restaurant exists, or because your staff is untrained or rude. I bet you can quickly imagine many scenarios from the execution of the idea that could go wrong. And this is a simple example to point out that professional execution is required for the right idea to succeed. But if the customers don't want to eat Mexican food, it doesn't matter that you execute to perfection. Your high-quality raw materials, your award-winning chef, and the service-minded staff, they will demand that you pay them while the restaurant is empty because the Mexican restaurant was simply the wrong idea. So the idea is the weakest link. Everything starts with the idea. If you have the right idea, good execution is a path to success, but we need to know that the idea is the right idea before we even consider implementation. The idea validation framework is designed to help you validate ideas. So, at the end of this section, we have therefore established a common understanding. The reason most ideas fail is that the customers didn't want what was made. It was the wrong idea. And yes, professional execution is important, but professional execution does not make the wrong idea into the right idea. So remember that, and I'll see you in the next video.